I was 18 when I caught my sister Sarah lifting up Chase's shirt and touching his abs. I was 22 when Chase, pressured by his family, married me. But everyone knew that even after the wedding, he still couldn't let go of his intense love for my sister. Later, I filed for divorce. He was silent for a long time before signing the papers. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask, he said. At 28, I returned for Chase and Sarah's wedding. He looked at the man beside me with a cold, unsettling gaze. So that's why you were so eager to divorce me. For him, for the past 3 years, rumors about me had swirled, he said. I was playing games, trying to win Chase back. Even my parents believed it. On the day of the divorce, Mom specifically warned me, now that you're divorced, don't contact him anymore. Your sister injured her leg, and she needs Chase. Don't upset her. Seeing my silence, she continued, that marriage was always meant for your sister. If she hadn't gone abroad for her studies, it wouldn't have been you. Sarah and Chase were the envy of everyone in our social circle, but on the eve of their wedding, Sarah ran away. The news of their union had already been announced. Faced with the pressure, Chase's family immediately decided to replace Sarah with me. I don't know how they convinced him, but Chase ultimately agreed to marry me. My parents found out after we'd already signed the papers. Chase hadn't treated me badly. He gave me half his assets. My parents summoned me home that night. They interrogated me, accusing me of being heartless and taking half of Chase's wealth. Take Taylor. How did I raise you? Did you marry him just for his money? Sarah, leaning on her crutches, was crying. Taylor, are you blaming me? Blaming me for taking Chase back? My parents interrupted her. Chase should have been your husband. If you hadn't run away from the wedding, you and Chase would have had kids by now. Sarah loved Chase, but she loved dancing more. Shortly after accepting Chase's proposal, she received an offer from a renowned dance troupe abroad. She left Chase without hesitation and went overseas for 3 years. She and Chase had almost no contact. Then one night, Chase received an overseas call. He leaned against me to study his breathing. He answered the call, right in front of me. Because I was so close, I clearly heard a crying voice on the other end. Chase froze. 1, 5, 10, 30 seconds passed before Chase reacted. Quickly, he grabbed a robe and rushed out. Chase didn't come back that night. The next day, I learned from my parents that Sarah had a dance accident and broke her leg. Chase had personally brought her back. Although she was staying at my parents' house, Chase handled everything related to Sarah. My parents even tried to talk some sense into me. Don't take it to heart. Your sister can't dance anymore, and only Chase can comfort her. My parents had always favored Sarah. She was beautiful, smart, and talented. I was just a bookworm, boring, and not good at making people happy. Everyone revolved around the injured Sarah, including my husband. His patience with me was wearing thin. One evening, he promised to pick me up but left me waiting in the rain for 2 hours. I got sick from the rain and developed a high fever. Chase had to leave Sarah to take care of me in the hospital. But my mother believed it was a tactic to get Chase back. She yelled hysterically because you called Chase away. Your sister tried to kill herself last night. Why are you a healthy person competing with a disabled person? I looked at her in disbelief. But Chase is my husband. So what? That marriage belongs to her. You stole her husband. But it was she who begged me to marry him. Before Sarah left for her studies, she came to me and tried to persuade me to marry Chase. Taylor, I know you like him. This is a good opportunity, isn't it? Why let the water flow outside the family? You wouldn't want Chase to be with another woman, would you? I remained silent. Sarah became anxious. Please, Taylor, or are you worried I'll come back and compete with you for Chase? My expression shifted slightly. She breathed a sigh of relief. Don't worry, I won't contact him after I go abroad. I swear. She kept her word for the first 3 years, but she ultimately broke her promise. After getting the divorce papers, I went south alone. I didn't contact my family for 3 years. Recently, they contacted me to tell me that Chase and Sarah were getting married. Sarah made the call. Taylor, come to my wedding. Only with you, there will I feel less guilty. I was silent for a long time before saying okay. The day I arrived home was sunny and pleasant. As I walked in with my suitcase, Sarah rushed out of her room. Taylor. Her steps were light and quick despite the autumn chill. She only wore a thin nightgown. Chase followed her, carrying slippers and a jacket. Why can't you remember to wear shoes next time? He stopped abruptly. He saw me. This was our first meeting since the divorce. I should have greeted him, at least out of politeness. I turned to him and nodded slightly. After 3 years, Chase looked the same, except his eyes were less cold and more tender. He nodded, and then looked away, putting the jacket on Sarah. Talk to her. I have work to attend to. Sarah approached me affectionately, putting her arm around mine. I was really afraid you wouldn't come. We're having a dress fitting tomorrow. Will you come with me? I said flatly. I have something to do tomorrow. Sarah frowned. Something important? Yes, very important. She thought for a moment then. Let's reschedule to the day after tomorrow. Finish early tomorrow, and come back. I'm not staying home. I interrupted. Tell Mom and Dad I'm busy these days and won't be home. Then I pulled my suitcase and left without looking back. Not far away, a car slowly stopped in front of me. The window rolled down, revealing Chase's handsome face. Get in, I'll take you. I politely refused. Thank you, no need. He was persistent. If I didn't get in, he would follow me. It's hard to hail a cab here. Get in. In the endless road ahead, I finally gave in. I got into the car and gave him my address. He frowned slightly. Why aren't you staying at the Golden Bay? I don't like it. The Golden Bay apartment was given to me during the divorce, but he didn't know I'd already sold it. Chase's eyes darkened, but he didn't ask further. When we reached the building, I got out and Chase followed. He carried my suitcase but didn't offer it to me. Let's go. I can manage myself. I tried to take the suitcase but couldn't. He looked around. Are you having financial difficulties? This place was far inferior to the Golden Bay. No. He walked straight inside. Which building? Which floor? Chase was persistent. He was determined to get things done his way. I didn't insist, walking silently ahead. We went up in the elevator. Standing at my door, I took the suitcase. Thank you. It's not convenient today. I won't invite you in.
Wait.
I turned around. How have you been all these years? Looking into his earnest eyes, I felt a moment of disorientation. Couldn't recall him ever speaking to me this way. Just as I was about to speak, the door suddenly opened. A tall, handsome man unexpectedly appeared. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, and a long, lean physique. He exuded an aura of raw masculinity. He stretched out his arm, pulling me into his embrace. Why so late, huh? He was about to kiss me. Just as his lips brushed mine, Chase's angry voice boomed from behind. What are you doing? But the man didn't stop. He gave me a deep kiss before slowly turning to Chase, his arms still around me. His words were directed at me. I was gone for only a short time, and you found someone new already? You're such a handful. I pushed him away, but he remained firm. I could only look at Chase. We can talk about this later. Chase's hands clenched into fists. His lips pressed together. This was a sign of his anger. But before he could erupt, I was pulled inside the apartment and the door closed. The man in front of me moved closer. If I remember correctly, you landed at 11 and it's 2 in the afternoon. 3 hours, and you met your ex-husband already? I gently poked his muscular waist. Ethan. My hand was immediately grabbed, and the man said in a low voice, don't try to trick me. I held onto his shirt, silent. His large hand lifted my chin. The moment our eyes met, Ethan chuckled. I haven't started scolding you yet, and you're already crying. I sniffed. I missed you so much. After the divorce, I moved south and opened a guest house in a small town. The town had a pleasant climate, and the people were kind and welcoming. Interacting with them improved my mood significantly. Within a year, my guest house gained a good reputation, and business picked up. Ethan was the most solitary guest. He mostly stayed in his room, rarely coming out. He only appeared on the patio when there were few people around. And initially, I worried about him and often paid attention to his movements. Then one day, I was sunbathing in the yard when he approached me and asked with a smirk, do I look that suicidal? I looked up in surprise. He lay down in the rocking chair beside me, relaxed and carefree. I heard you on the phone. I was instantly embarrassed. Last night I called a friend and mentioned Ethan. I said, that guy is pretty good looking. It would be a shame if you were gone unexpectedly.
Ethan heard me.
As I was embarrassed, Ethan suddenly asked, you don't seem to be a local. Why did you decide to open a guest house here? I made up a story. I have plenty of money and nothing to do. A low chuckle escaped his throat, a beautiful sound. I couldn't help but look at him, and I saw a pleasing sight. The man lay resting on his arm, gazing at the horizon. His jawline was sharp and clear, his profile sculpted perfectly. His face was already handsome, but Ethan was even more striking. Perhaps noticing my gaze, he turned and looked at me. I don't remember who looked away first. I only remember that from that day on, our interactions changed. Suddenly, our relationship progressed. During a mountain hike, a storm hit as we descended, and heavy rain poured down. We rushed back to the guest house, soaked to the bone. That night, I developed a high fever. When I got up to take medicine, I broke a cup. Ethan burst in. Whether it was an illusion or a misremembered memory, I distinctly saw a look of fear on his face as he entered. But the moment his eyes fell on me, that fear was replaced by relief. My illness was severe, and I was bedridden for 5 days. Ethan took care of me for those 5 days. He moved his musical instruments to my room, and I learned he was a singer. So you're always ready to leave? I asked, holding a cup of hot water. He asked instead, do you want me to leave? I didn't answer. He took the cup from my hands and suddenly kissed me. His hot breath burned against my skin. I held onto his shirt, my heart pounding. After that day, Ethan became the new master of the guest house. Changing light bulbs, repairing furniture, it all became his responsibility. The guests often joked, you're so housewifey. Get the beautiful owner to marry you already. Whenever they did, he'd ask me, when are you going to marry me? I'd always laugh it off. He seemed indifferent, but when we were alone, he would find ways to tease me. Even if I begged him to stop, he wouldn't relent. I thought this would continue, but one day, Ethan disappeared. Today, I saw him again after that sudden departure. The more I thought about it, the more upset I became, tears streaming down my face. Ethan looked at me, waiting for an explanation, but I remained silent, just crying. After a while, the man who had been angry just moments ago sighed and cupped my face in his hands. I'm completely smitten with you. So you're not leaving?
Leave?
You're like this. How can I leave you alone? I still didn't trust him. Exhausted from crying, I clung to him. He had no choice but to lie down with me. I slept soundly that night. When I woke up, Ethan was gone. My phone was on silent, 99 plus missed calls, half from Chase. Besides that, my dormant college alumni group suddenly became lively. Chase had posted a message about organizing a reunion. Since it's organized by Chase, we have to go. Heard Ethan is coming back too. Invite him. It's him. I'm a big fan. I know his whereabouts. Rumor has it he's back to propose to the girl he secretly loved for 10 years. Just as I read that, my phone was taken away. Ethan's handsome face loomed over me. Reading gossip first thing in the morning? I reached for my phone. Give it back. He held it above my head, his expression amused.
No, Ethan.
Taylor. We stared at each other until I sighed and pushed myself upright. What did you do with my phone? Nothing. Then why are there 99 missed calls? His smile disappeared.
Chase.
I nodded. Ethan's jaw tightened. He called you 99 times? Apparently. Why? I don't know. Ethan tossed the phone onto the bed. You should block him. I laughed. You disappeared for months without explanation, and now you're giving me relationship advice? His expression changed. The teasing vanished. I deserved that. I froze. Ethan sat beside me. I know you think I left because I got bored. You did. I didn't. Then why? He looked down at his hands. My father found out about you. I stared at him. What? He discovered where I was staying. He told me to come home. And you just left. I was trying to protect you. I almost laughed. Protect me from what? My family. His voice was unusually serious. My family has money, influence, and a terrible habit of solving problems by destroying whoever gets in their way. When my father realized I was serious about you, he threatened your guest house. My smile disappeared. Why didn't you tell me? Because I thought I could handle it. You couldn't. No. He looked at me. I couldn't. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then Ethan reached for my hand. I spent months fighting with my father. I refused every woman he introduced to me. I sold some of my investments, transferred what I could, and came back. Why now? Because I realized something. What? If I kept waiting for the perfect moment, I'd lose you. My throat tightened. Ethan? He smiled faintly. So I came back. I looked away. You could have called. I know. You could have sent one message. I know. You could have told me you were alive. I know. I punched his shoulder. He caught my wrist. That's 3. I deserve to hit you. Probably. I tried to pull away, but he held on. Then he lowered his voice. Taylor, I didn't come back to visit. My heart skipped. I came back for you. Before I could answer, the doorbell rang. Ethan's expression immediately soured. I bet that's your ex-husband. I opened the door. Chase stood outside. His face was unreadable. His eyes moved from me to Ethan's hand around my wrist. Then his expression darkened. Taylor, we need to talk. I don't think we do. I do. Ethan stepped beside me. She said she doesn't. Chase looked at him. Who are you? Ethan. The singer? Ethan smiled. Apparently I'm famous. Chase ignored the joke. Taylor, I know what everyone has been saying about you. I don't care. You should. No. I folded my arms. 3 years ago, you signed those divorce papers. You told me to ask if I ever needed anything. I meant it. I know. Then why didn't you? Because I didn't need you. The words hit him harder than I expected. His eyes flickered. You seem to need him. I glanced at Ethan. I do. Ethan's fingers curled around mine. Chase's face went pale. I thought you divorced me because you wanted freedom. I did. Because of another man? No. I looked directly at him. I divorced you because I finally understood that I would always be second. Chase's lips parted. Taylor. Sarah was the woman you loved. I was the replacement you married because circumstances forced you to. His face tightened. I never treated you badly. I know. I gave you half my assets. I know. Then what did I do wrong? I smiled sadly. You gave me everything except yourself. Chase fell silent. Behind him, a car pulled up. Sarah stepped out. She was dressed beautifully, leaning lightly on a cane. Chase. She walked toward us. Then she saw Ethan. Her expression changed. Who is he? I didn't answer. Ethan did. Her future husband. Sarah froze. Chase's head snapped toward him. Ethan calmly continued. I came back to marry her. Sarah's face went white. You can't. I raised an eyebrow. Why not? Because. She looked at Chase. Then back at me. You know what Chase and I have been through. I smiled. You mean what you abandoned? Sarah's fingers tightened around her cane. I was injured, and Chase rescued you. I lost my dancing career. And everyone decided that meant I had to lose my husband too. Taylor, I never wanted to hurt you. You didn't. I took Ethan's hand. You simply assumed I'd keep waiting for you both to decide what my life should look like. Sarah stared at our joined hands. Then Chase asked quietly, Are you really going to marry him? I looked at Ethan. He was watching me with the same warm expression I'd fallen for years ago. Yes. Chase closed his eyes. When he opened them again, the jealousy was impossible to hide. But this time, it didn't matter. Because for the first time, I wasn't standing between Chase and Sarah. I was walking away from both of them, and Ethan was walking beside me. For a few seconds, nobody spoke. Then Sarah suddenly laughed. It was a small, disbelieving laugh. You've known him for 3 years? Yes. And you're marrying him? That's the plan. Her eyes moved to Chase. I could see exactly what she was thinking. She had expected me to return alone. She had expected me to still be the quiet little sister who waited for Chase to notice her. Instead, I had walked back into her wedding with a man who loved me openly. Sarah's grip tightened around her cane. But you just got here. I know. You've barely seen Chase. I don't need to. Chase's expression turned complicated. Sarah stepped closer to him. Chase, tell her. He didn't answer. Tell her you're not going to let this happen. His jaw tightened. Sarah. Tell her. Everyone nearby turned to look. Sarah's composure cracked. You loved me for years. You waited for me. You married Taylor because you had no choice. Chase stared at her. That was 3 years ago. Sarah froze. I know. No. You don't. His voice was calm, but every word landed hard. I spent 3 years trying to understand why you left me before our wedding. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I had a dream. A dream? To dance. And I respected that. I knew you would. Then why did you come back? She swallowed. Because I realized I still loved you. Chase looked away. And I believed you. Sarah's face brightened slightly. But I don't anymore. Her smile disappeared. Chase looked at me. When Taylor divorced me, I thought she hated me. I lowered my eyes. I didn't. I know that now. He took a breath. I thought giving her half my assets was enough to compensate for everything she had endured. It wasn't, I said. I know. Ethan squeezed my hand. Chase noticed. His eyes lingered there. Then he looked back at Sarah. You keep saying Taylor stole me from you. Sarah's lips trembled. She did. No. His answer was immediate. You gave me away. Sarah went completely still. Chase continued. You left me standing at our wedding venue. You went overseas without looking back. You told me dancing was more important. I was young. So was I. You could have waited. I did. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. For 3 years. No. He glanced at me. I waited much longer than that. My heart tightened. But Chase wasn't looking at me with the desperate love I once wanted. There was regret there. Maybe even affection. But it wasn't enough to change anything. Sarah suddenly turned toward me. You planned this. I blinked. What? You came back with him on purpose. I came back because you invited me. You knew Chase would see you with another man. I laughed. You seriously think my entire life revolves around Chase? She flinched. It doesn't. Ethan smiled beside me. That's the part she hasn't accepted yet. Sarah looked at him bitterly. You don't know anything about our family. You're right. Ethan leaned slightly toward me. But I know Taylor. His hand settled around my waist. And that's enough. Sarah's eyes reddened. Then she looked at Chase. Are you really going to let her marry him? Chase didn't answer. Sarah stepped closer. Chase. He looked at her. I think you should marry him. She stared at him. What? If he makes her happy, marry him. Sarah's face crumpled. You don't love me anymore? Chase was quiet for a moment. I don't think I ever understood what love was. He glanced at me. I thought loving someone meant waiting for them no matter how many times they chose something else. Then he looked at Sarah. I was wrong. Sarah started crying. My parents arrived just in time to see her breaking down. Mom immediately rushed toward her. Sarah? Dad followed. What happened? Sarah pointed at me. She's getting married. Mom stared. To whom? Ethan raised his hand slightly. Me. Mom looked him up and down. Then at me. You divorced Chase 3 years ago. Why are you rushing into another marriage? I shrugged. Because I want to. But your sister. Mom. My voice stopped her. Sarah's wedding isn't my responsibility. Mom's expression hardened. You've always been selfish. I smiled. Maybe. Then I looked at Sarah. But at least I'm finally selfish about my own life. Ethan laughed under his breath. Mom looked furious. Dad, surprisingly, said nothing. He just stared at me. Perhaps he had finally realized something. The daughter they had always treated as the spare had grown up without asking them for permission. Ethan leaned toward me. Wanna leave? Very much. We turned. Chase suddenly called my name. Taylor. I stopped. He walked toward me. For a second I wondered if he was going to say something dramatic. Instead, he held out a small velvet box. My heart skipped. What's that? The ring you returned. I stared at it. 3 years ago, I'd mailed my wedding ring back to him. He'd kept it. I don't want it, I said. I know. He closed his fingers around the box. I just wanted to give it back properly. I smiled. You should give it to Sarah. His expression changed. She doesn't want this ring. Sarah heard him. She turned away, crying. I looked at Chase one last time. Then keep it. He nodded. This time, there was no argument. Outside, Ethan opened the passenger door for me. I got in. He walked around to the driver's side. As soon as the car started moving, I burst out laughing. Ethan glanced over. What? My sister's wedding just collapsed. Technically, we haven't confirmed that. I looked at him. What? He grinned. Because your parents haven't even heard the best part. What best part? He reached into his jacket and pulled out his phone. On the screen was a message from his assistant. Venue confirmed. Saturday. 200 guests. I stared at him. Ethan? He shrugged. I told you I came back for you. You planned a wedding? I planned an engagement party. He paused. Then I got impatient. I laughed so hard I nearly cried. You are insane. Probably. He took my hand while driving. But you love me. I looked at our intertwined fingers. Then at the road ahead. Unfortunately. He smiled. Fortunately. And for once, I didn't look back.